Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing today? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video. My name is RuffledRowlit, and today, guys, we're going to be going through some stuff that I think is worthwhile covering because we potentially have more confirmation of this leak that came out on the 23rd of May being actually real. And most of you guys have probably already seen videos about this, already heard about it, but I want to go through something today that was recently discovered. Actually, last night it was discovered by a bunch of different people, and it was emailed to me by a viewer. It was also tweeted to me about like 5 times, and also just mentioned to me several times on stream today. And I'm actually streaming while recording this video, so if it's a little bit weird and odd, don't worry. And those who are watching in chat, please understand I'm also recording this right now and streaming while I'm recording it. So when I say that the video is over, that doesn't mean the stream is over. Just a heads up for anybody that's watching. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking today, guys? Well, basically, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves some Gucci freaking shit. Now, what am I talking about? Well, basically, we seem to have a confirmation that the Chipmunk Pokemon, which is mentioned in the rumor here, which is right here, the Skwovet and Gredunt are Chipmunk Pokemon who will hide in berry trees and attack randomly if you shake for too many berries. If they attack you, you lose half of the berries that dropped, which is kind of a unique little thing to them, honestly. It's kind of a unique system, honestly. But either way, let's look past that. What do we have based on this? Well, how do we know this is real? Well, basically, if you look on 2 different spots within the Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer, you find two different things. Now, one of the first things you'll find is this right here. It's the chipmunk on the shirt of this little kid. On this kid's shirt, you'll actually see a fat little chipmunk just casually eating some berries and chilling. Pretty fat, like chipmunk, to be frankly honest. It's pretty thick. Let's just put it like that. And people are saying, like, for example, here, like Sweatistan Weeb here said, is this probably like a Pikachu clone of the Pikachu clone of Galar, which it most likely will be. Though it's a possibility that it isn't, because there is also mention in the rumor. There's the mention of a Corgi, which I think they mentioned like around right here. There's apparently a Corgi. I'm not sure if it's meant to be called Pamper, but it's an electric Corgi Pokemon, which I'm thinking maybe that might be the Pikachu clone, but that wouldn't make much sense, right? Because that's a dog Pokemon. That's it's a Corgi. Whereas the Skwovet and Gredunt would make more sense to be like the new kind of like Pikachu clones, if they're electric types, of course, which we don't know. But you'll notice here, it's on his shirt, right? You'll see it on his shirt. You can see him here in the crowd of the Sword and Shield trailer. Right there, there's the kid in the grass-type gym. And what's also interesting is that here you'll also discover there's something else. And this was posted by Snorlax Monster and also mentioned to me by Lex Luxray. Lux Luxray. I was going to say Lex Luray. But Lex Luxray mentioned this as well. So apparently you can see that there's a new Squirrel Pokemon, 858 of the Direct. When the camera zooms into the crowd, it's on the left side of this image. If you actually open this image up, and let's open up a larger one here. So shout out to Foul Plays, by the way, for actually like making this larger and enhancing it. So you'll see right here. Not the Munchlax, ignore the Munchlax, but look right here. Right there you can see a squirrel with like big cheeks. You can see a big cheek Pokemon. Now, Foul Play thought maybe it's a Patrat, but it isn't, because this thing has way larger cheeks than like, actually no, I mean Patrat does have like pretty large cheeks as well, but this one is way larger, and also the coloring on it somewhat looks more like pinkish almost, I feel like. It looks far more pinkish, and it's like cheeks are going a lot more downwards, and like it has like also the eyes seem to be slightly like different size than you see from like a Patrat. Also, it's fatter, okay? It's way fatter. It looks way
chubbier.
So I definitely think that this is the Chipmunk that we saw. Now, you might make the argument, well, Mr. Ruffled, I don't agree. Because that isn't enough to prove the rumor is real, and the leak is real. I don't think that's enough to prove the Sword and Shield leak is real. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is not all we have, though, because we have more stuff. And this was sent to me by, like, SwissXO as well, who actually discovered that there's a tent in the background, which reminds her of the leak that was meant, like, the mention of tents in the leak, which in the wild areas, basically, you can set up a camp where you can pet your Pokemon and, like, mess around with them, but rather play with them, play with your Pokemon, have a good time with them, that sort of stuff. And this is an area that actually, is going to exist within the, the construct of these games in the wild areas. So that's a thing, you know what I mean? And Chipmunk or a Squirrel, it doesn't matter if it's Chipmunk or a Squirrel, whatever. I think listen, Squirrel, Chipmunk, what does it matter? Like, doesn't matter which one it is, okay? Electric Drago. Either way, so where was I? But for those who don't know the camp thing here, if you go back to the actual rumor here, you'll notice that if we go down to, I think, right about like this part, somewhere around here, they mentioned a brand new feature. So I think here they mentioned Dynamaxing and that sort of stuff. And here it is. So camping is how you play with Pokemon now. You'll get 2 toys, a feathered toy and a toy Pokeball, which can raise friendship. You can make Curry, which will raise the stats and friendliness of Pokemon. Pokemon will not walk beside you in the overworld map. So yeah, this guy's confirming here that this won't be like, there won't be any following Pokemon at least, so that's it. But yeah, so besides that, I don't really know if there's anything else really mentioned besides like that to kind of prove the point here, but I think we can establish that this leak is real. We can pretty much confirm it's real. And also Gigamaxing is also a thing apparently in the game, so I do wonder what that's going to be like. It's going to be even larger than normal, like, Dynamaxing, so we'll see how that looks like. But yeah, I think we can pretty much confirm that this is the brand new Chipmunk Pokemon. Chipmunk, Squirrel, doesn't matter. It's chubby, so that's all that matters, dude. It's a chubby little Pokemon, and I'm excited to actually have it in my team. Honestly, I've got to be fair, though. Like, Sword and Shield so far, like, all the Pokemon so far, I'm very satisfied with. I'm going to be honest. Like, I love the starter Pokemon. They're really awesome. All of them. Grookey, Scorbunny, Sobble, amazing. Corviknight is, like, the coolest Pokemon, like, I've seen in such a long time. Mailloux, I mean, you know, Wooloo, not Mailloux. I was like thinking, I was like milk tag in my head. Wooloo is adorable. It's like literally, if it's afraid, it rolls into, it like turns into a freaking like ball of like fluff and just rolls away. It's adorable. Like in general, all the Pokemon so far, I'm so happy with, and the legendaries as well. I love the legendaries. Zacian or Zacian, I guess whatever way you want to call it, looks amazing. I love the fact that it has the sword in its like mouth, kind of like, you know, I think Sif from like, you know, Dark Souls, and also I think it's based on like another mythological dog or whatever, or wolf. And then on top of that, you also have what's it called again? Zama, like, yeah, what is it? Zamazenta, thank you. Zamazenta? Is it Zamazenta? I always forget to say its name because it's like magenta and ZA at the start. It's Zacian and then Zamazenta. Yeah, Zamazenta. I always like mess up the name. But Wooloo is like adorable though. Either way, so where was I? Next thing, we at least also now have a confirmation for a bunch of brand new Pokemon, right? So we have the confirmation of a Electric Corgi. We have the confirmation of 2 different Squirrel Pokemon or Chipmunk Pokemon as well. You know what I mean? So we have 3 more Pokemon confirmed now what they're going to be like. And also another 4th one. If you read the rumor here, and I read this yesterday as well, but I'm going to read it out again today. He mentions here that the best Pokemon so far is the Blue Seagull, who when it dives either gets a Barracuda in its mouth or a Pikachu, which it launches at its enemies. Which is very insane, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, a Blue Seagull, who when it dives either gets a Barracuda, which makes sense, right? Or a Pikachu in its mouth. I'm just curious, but where in the world does it find a Pikachu? And how in the world would this happen? I'm really curious, but let's not forget though that this isn't everything. There's also mention of regional variants. The rumor mentions there's going to be regional variants, so that's a thing. And that's all going off of if this rumor is 100% real. But there was so much real stuff in this. I'm kind of curious if, like, you know, what the deal is. And in this one they mentioned here, like, there's going to be, like, Pokemon like Farfetch'd will be gaining regional evolutions. Not variants, but, like, regional evolutions. Like Surfetch'd, which would be, like, an evolution of Farfetch'd, which I'm actually really excited for. I've always wanted to see an evolution of Farfetch'd, so I'm excited for this. And apparently Meowth will look like a ball of spiky gray fur, which is weird because that's where I get a little bit, like iffy about this whole rumor. Like, there's so many things in this rumor that, like, are correct. And if this was, like, actually posted on the 23rd of May, unless it was some, like, really sketchy things happening there, if this was actually posted on, like, on the 23rd of May, before the Direct and stuff, and all the information here is real, I'm really curious then, like, about some of the stuff here. Like, for example, you know, why would Meowth get more attention when it already got attention you know, back in Alola? Why would they give it more attention now? Like, that makes no sense. And on top of that, there's so many other, like, there's so many, like, discrepancies, honestly. There's so many discrepancies here, and I don't know, like, what to feel about it, but I guess we'll just have to, like, wait and see. Yeah, so Sea-Dog says, I choose not to believe it, only because they said no following Pokemon. Sea-Dog, everything they said here was correct, though, dude. This was posted before Sword and Shield was, like, the Sword and Shield Direct just happened. It was posted way before that, man. And also, no, there won't be following Pokemon. And I think I explained this yesterday in one of my streams, but I'm going to explain it to the viewers as well who are watching this. But something people need to understand is the reason there are not going to be following Pokemon is for a very simple factor. If there's going to be Pokemon in the overworld, in the wild areas, having them in the overworld, plus improved graphics, which are way harder for the Switch to run, like better graphics, on top of that having movable, like, Pokemon that move around, having a Pokemon also follow you would be way too much for the Switch to handle. The engine won't be able to, like, handle that shit. Like, it just won't be able to handle it. So you need to understand that, no, following Pokemon won't be a thing, okay? The fact that we even got, like, Pokemon the overworld at all is just, like, a surprise in itself. But, like, on top of that, having a following Pokemon would just be too much. And no, Hen, you are clearly misunderstanding how a game works. When it's loading up all the like things you see on the screen, when everything is being rendered out on your screen, okay? When everything's being rendered, rendering another extra model is actually a lot of work for the system. Like, to you, it may seem like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but it is for the system, and this is Game Freak we're talking about, and Game Freak, well, they've had a fair share of issues when it comes to actually handling their code and stuff, which is, that's why, you know, it causes us to have, like, you know, just games that run at like 30 FPS always. But like, you need to understand that, like, just because like there are a bunch of Pokemon roaming around, that doesn't mean that, like, you know, just because, oh, like, it should be easy just to add another Pokemon following you, because that Pokemon following you would always be in your, like, in your view, right? Whereas Pokemon in the distance don't need to be rendered at the same way, okay? Like, Pokemon in the distance don't need to be rendered, which is why they don't take up as much, like, you know, engine power. Whereas Pokemon, like, around you take up way more engine power, and with improved graphics, that causes a lot of issues. Either way, the whole point of this, though, was to be talking about the squirrel, though, or the chipmunk, which I'm actually really excited for. I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out, and I want to know your, you know, just for anybody who's watching this as a video format, I want to know your opinions on it, and those who are watching this in the stream, let me know, guys. Are you excited for the Chipmunk Pokemon? Because I know I am. And also, what are your thoughts on the actual leak? Do you think it's, like, you know, viable? Do you think some of the stuff in it is, like, iffy? Let me know in the comment section down below, though, like, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, thank you for watching this in the video format, and those who are watching stream, keep sticking around. We're not going to end off stream. Either way, thanks for watching the video. Have a good one.